Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers' chances to win the Super Bowl this upcoming season, man, because you think about how hot this team got late last season. Jordan Love had 21 touchdowns to 3 interceptions during the month of late November to December. He absolutely dismantled the Dallas Cowboys defense in the wild card round, and he was doing some crazy work to the 49ers for the majority of that game up until the last minutes of the fourth quarter. Jordan Love is in ascension mode right now. And anytime you have a quarterback in ascension mode, it puts you in prime position to compete for a Super Bowl. Do you remember when Andrew Luck, before he got injured his first couple of years with the Indianapolis Colts, he took them to an AFC championship. And they got cheated out of that AFC championship because the New England Patriots took it upon themselves to deflate the balls. We all know about Deflategate, but when Andrew Luck was in ascension mode, even though Indianapolis never had one of the league's most talented teams, just with them having Andrew Luck and his ability to elevate everybody that he was playing with, put the Indianapolis Colts in position where they could have won a Super Bowl. And the only reason why they didn't win a Super Bowl with Andrew Luck is because they never gave him a good offensive line. You look at what Jordan Love has in Green Bay, you have a really good offensive line. You got to figure out what you're going to do with David Bakhtiari, how you're going to replace him. But one thing that you know for certain with the Green Bay Packers is that they're always going to have a really good defensive line and a good offensive line. They spend a lot of draft picks on those positions. You also have one of the NFL's most talented, youngest teams. The Packers were one of the youngest teams to ever make it to the playoffs last year. Not a lot of people talked about that. So you have a lot of guys that, not just Jordan Love, but Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, these guys are also in ascension mode with Jordan Love, because you're looking at a team that you have several guys on your offense that they haven't even hit their primes yet. They're 2-3 years away from their peak. And they're only going to grow. The chemistry is only going to get better. Jordan Love, with the situation that the Packers have given him, having this elite young nucleus of talent around him, Luke Musgrave at tight end, who we didn't really hear much of this year, but he's going to be a breakout candidate next season. I mean, you just picked up Josh Jacobs at running back, who definitely is an upgrade over Aaron Jones. I mean, Jordan Love, I'm expecting him to have not just the MVP season, but he should play good enough where the Packers should find themselves no worse than in the NFC Championship. Because right now, to me, he's the best quarterback in the NFC. When you have an elite quarterback and you're in a conference that lacks elite quarterbacks, normally the most talented quarterbacks, as long as they have a somewhat decent team around them, they normally end up going the furthest in the postseason. The Packers have everything. Good coaching staff. They moved on from Joe Barry. They replaced him with Jeff Hafley, who decided to take a demotion. He was the head coach at Boston College, said, you know what? I'm tired of this college football shit. I just want to coach ball. I'm finna go be the defensive coordinator for the Packers. He had really good defenses at Boston College, and he also has some NFL experience. And it's way too much talent on the Packers defense for Jeff Hafley not to have a better defense than what Joe Barry was able to produce. You have a really talented defensive line, Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, who you invested first round picks into. You got Rashawn Gary. If Rashawn Gary stays healthy, he's a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. He is that good. He may be the most underrated defensive player in the NFL. That's how good Rashawn Gary is. Before he went down last year, he was in that conversation with the Myles Garrett's and TJ Watts of the world. Now, is he on that level as them? I don't think he is, but I definitely believe that he's a tier below them. He's on that Brian Burns, Michael Parsons tier. And the secondary, you just invested a lot of money into safety Xavier McKinney, who is playing some of the best football of his career. And you have Jair Alexander still there at corner. This is a really nice defense that the Packers have. If Green Bay can have a top 15 defense and their offense picks up from where they left off at the end of last season, I don't see how Green Bay isn't a lock to be in the NFC this upcoming season or in the NFC Conference Championship this upcoming season, man, because this is a stacked team with a great quarterback. To me, Jordan Love is already a top 7, top 6 quarterback in the game. How many quarterbacks can you name off the top of your head right now that you would take over Jordan Love? I thought that he was going to lead them to an upset over San Francisco until he fell apart the last couple of minutes. But that's just what happens with a young quarterback. But when you go 21-3, your last few games of the regular season, and you do what you just did in the postseason, you're special. I don't think last season was a fluke out of Green Bay. I believe that they are for real. They are legit. And if I had to give you guys a way too early NFC Conference Championship prediction, I would have the Packers in it and maybe possibly the Rams. But the Packers, however this season goes, whether they win their division or not, I expect to see them in the game before the Super Bowl in the 2024-2025 NFL season.